Hello everyone. So, this is the 9th lecture of our subject digital system design, and the topic for today's lecture is multi-bit arithmetic circuits. So, these are the contents of today's lecture: concept of multi-bit addition, serial adder, parallel adder cum subtractor, and BCD or decimal adder. So, in a previous lecture we had already covered the concept of addition via half adder and full adders, but in that case we were taking one bit at a time only. That means, a single stage addition was being performed, and the carry generated from that stage was not referred to the next stage. Okay. So, that was a single stage addition, but now we are interested in performing multi stage addition. So, for that we need to understand the concept of multi bit addition. So, let us proceed to the concept of multi bit addition. So, now let us suppose that A and B, this A and B are 4 bit binary numbers, which are being denoted by A3, A2, A1, A0 and B3, B2, B1, B0. And we have also taken example that let us suppose that these A3, A2, A1, A0 are equivalent to 1, 1, 0, 1 and B3, B2, B1, B0 are equivalent to 0, 0, 1, 1. So, these are the A and B representation of these binary numbers. So, we have mentioned it here, this is my A and this is my B. Okay. So, now we can see that while adding, initially there will be no carry, that is why there is extra 0 has been included, okay, because initial carry, this is initially there will be no carry. So, initial carry is equal to 0. So, when we start adding 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, sum is 0, carry is 1, this 1 is being sent to the next stage. Okay. So, here we can see 1 plus 0 plus 1, again sum is 0, carry is 1, this 1 is again sent to the next stage here. So, 1 plus 1, again it is 0, carry is 1, this 1 is again sent to the next stage. Okay. Then 1 plus 1, again it is 0, carry 1, but this 1 will be my final carry out, because this is not going to be sent to any further stage. So, this is my carry out. So, the answer becomes, this is my sum and this is my final carry. So, the answer is 1 4 times 0 0. So, these are the sum bits as we can see here, and this is my final carry, which is going to be retained as a part of the sum. So, this is my C out and these are the sum bits. Okay. So, in this way we can perform multi bit addition. So, this is the concept of multi bit addition on pen paper, we can say, but when we want to when we are interested in translating this multi bit addition concept into a circuit, for that we have to understand that at any point of time we can see that there are 3 things to be added, although in the first stage there were 2 things, but the previous carry was considered to be 0. So, we are assuming it to be 3. So, in any stage we can see that there are 3 things and a sum and carry are being generated. So, these 3 things are added to generate sum and carry, and this thing can be performed with the help of a full adder. So, we need 4 full adders. So, we can see that this is these are the 4 full adders. This is one full adder, another full adder, another full adder, another full adder. Okay. So, these 4 full adders can be used to generate a parallel adder. So, this is my parallel adder, because all 4 adders are receiving their input bits simultaneously and generating the sum and next stage carry, and this next stage carry is being used by the next full adder to compute a fresh sum and fresh carry, which will the sum will be displayed on the bottom side and that carry will be sent to the next full adder. Okay. So, this is the internal structure of this block level diagram of this 4 bit parallel binary adder. Okay. So, this is my first 4 bit number A3, A2, A1, A0, and this is my second 4 bit number B3, B2, B1, B0, and these things are added together to compute S3, S2, S1, S0 as the 4 bit sum. Intermediate carries are not shown here, because they are part of the internal circuit processing, and this is my final carry, which will be the output of the last stage full adder. Okay. So, this is the block level representation of parallel adder, and this is the actual internal. Further, this is also a block level representation, because we are not using the component level structure, because it will be very difficult to show that 4 bit parallel adder with the actual components, because in the last lecture we have already seen that a full adder in itself has multiple number of components. There are 3 NOT gates, there are 4 triple input AND gates and a single input OR gate required for computing the sum part of the full adder. So, it is very difficult to show the component level structure of this 4 bit parallel binary adder. So, that is why we have shown it in the form of full adders. Okay. So, this is the concept of parallel addition, parallel adder, and there is a concept of serial adder as well, and that there is a single full adder, there is a single full adder. We are not allowed to use multiple full adders. That means, a single full adder has to do all the job. That means, definitely all the 4 stage addition we have seen in parallel adder case, that we need 4 full adders. So, to perform 4 stage additions we need 4 full adders, but if we are asked to perform this with a help of single full adder, then it has to perform this kind of addition 4 times, and with the concept that the previous stage carry has to be stored somewhere, so that it can be added in the next stage as well. So, these we can see first A naught and B naught will enter the circuit to generate the S naught, okay. And then we can see that the carry which will be generated from here will be sent back to the circuit. There is some memory device which will store that value, and when the next stage A1 and B1 will come, this previous stage carry, that means the carry produced by the addition of this A naught and B naught, that means C naught, let us say C naught naught. So, C naught carry out generated from this 0 stage will be stored by this memory element, and it will be used while we add A1 and B1. Okay. So, in this way it will generate S1 and let us say C naught 1. This C naught 1 will be stored in this memory device, and it will be again used to add when we are adding A2 and B2 plus previous stage carry this C naught 1. Okay. So, in this way we can implement this 4 bit parallel addition, 4 bit addition using a single full adder with the help of a serial adder, but there is a glitch here that we are using a memory device here, and in the first lecture of our unit 2 we have made a claim that combination circuits are memoryless. So, we have implemented that using this memory. So, actually in real sense this cannot be considered as a combination circuit, because we are using a concept of memory. Okay. So, that is why this serial adder concept is not practically used, and we always use parallel adders in our day to day practical circuits and scenarios. So, now let us come to the adder cum subtractor part. Okay. We have already seen the serial addition, we have already seen the parallel addition. Now, if we have to implement addition and subtraction using the same circuit, then we have to understand what are the similarity points and what are the difference point between the addition and subtraction. This is very much clear that addition cannot be performed using subtraction rules, okay, because both the rules are different, but it is well known to us that subtraction can be performed with the help of addition using 1's complement method and 2's complement method, which we have already covered in our unit 1. Okay. So, using those concepts we will be implementing a parallel adder cum subtractor, that means a single circuit capable of performing both addition and subtraction. Okay. So, the similarity is the subtraction can be done using addition. This is the similarity point, because 1's and 2's complement method are actually adding the numbers, and the difference is while performing the subtraction B has to be 2's complemented, that means 1's complement plus 1. In addition case we do not have to perform this 1's plus 1, but in case of subtraction while performing the difference, calculating the difference part, we have to do 1's plus 1. Okay. So, these are the similarity and difference point. Now, how these things are to be implemented with the help of a structure, that we have to see. Okay. So, this difference of 1's complement plus 1, 1's complement can be easily computed with the help of a NOT gate, very much simple. Okay. But this 1's complement has to be conditional now, because while performing addition I do not want to perform the complement, because the numbers are to be directly added, but while performing the subtraction I have to first take the 1's complement of the negative number, and that negative numbers one's complement plus 1 to generate the 2's complement of the to that number, and that 2's complement of the number will be added to the actual number. That means, if I am interested in a plus minus b, then this b's 2's complement will be added to a. Okay. So, while performing addition I do not want to perform the complement, and while performing subtraction I want to perform the complement. That means, a single NOT gate is not capable of performing this conditional complement. So, I have to use something else. So, this XOR gate will be used as conditional complement circuit. If I fix this mode, one of the input as mode, and if this mode is equal to 0 and this another input is named as B, then we can see that 0 XOR B is actually equivalent to B, and if this mode is equivalent to 1, then 1 XOR B, 0 XOR B is equal to B, and this 1 XOR B, if I fix this mode is equal to 1, then 1 XOR B is equal to B complement. We can see that this XOR gate can appropriately replace an XOR, a NOT gate, a conventional NOT gate, and this offers me that the same structure can be used to perform the addition and subtraction by simply placing or simply selecting this mode value. If I choose mode value as 0, inversion will not be performed, that means addition can take place, and if I choose mode is equal to 1, then subtraction can take place, as it will act like a NOT gate. Okay. Now, let us implement this concept in form of a circuit. So, this is a circuit. As we can see that the B wires are not entering the full address directly, they are entering using these XOR gates, and these inputs of these XOR gate, one input of these XOR gates are being chosen as is mode controlled. Okay. So, if I choose this mode is equal to 0, then I can see that these B naught, this B naught will directly reach there without getting complemented. Similarly, this B 1 will reach there, B 2 will reach there, and this B 3 will reach there. Okay. And in this way, and this thing is also entering here, this is 0, and nothing more is added to the numbers. That means, in that case simply A, we can say that A plus B can be computed for mode is equal to 0. Okay. And when this mode is equal to 1, now all these 4 inputs of XOR gate are fixed to 1. That means, these inputs will now be acting like NOT gates. This structure will be acting like NOT gate. Okay. So, we will be having B 3 bar here, B 2 bar here, B 1 bar here, and B naught bar here. Okay. So, the part B is getting complemented, and after getting complemented it is reaching the full address. So, one's complement is done, and this is also 1, and this 1 is also reaching here as extra 1, which will be actually equivalent to plus 1. This will be performing 1's complement using this one, and 1's complement plus 1. That means, this 2's complement is ready for me, and this 2's complement now can be used to find the subtraction of these A minus B. Okay. So, in that case we can see that the A plus 2's complement of B is being computed by the circuit, and we can see that, and while performing this carry, the final stage carry, this C out, if we are performing addition, this carry will be used as part of the sum. Okay. While performing when mode is equal to 0, and when mode is equal to 1, that means we are performing subtraction, then it will be discarded. So, this carry will be discarded while performing subtraction, and it will be considered as a part of the sum while performing addition. So, this is your 4-bit parallel adder cum subtractor. Okay. Now, let us proceed to the another special adder, which is our BCD or decimal adder. Okay. So, for that BCD or decimal adder, first we have to remind that BCD is binary coded decimal, and it is actually 4-bit representation of a decimal number. So, that means decimal numbers are 0 to 9. So, the BCD numbers can be 0 0 0 0 to 1 0 0 1. Okay. So, anything which exceeds 1 0 0 1 in binary, that means this 1 0 1 0 to 1 1 1 1, these are my invalid BCDs. Okay. So, these are invalid BCDs, and these 0 to 9 are the valid BCDs. Okay. Now, we are interested in performing addition of these BCD numbers. That means, and BCD we have already seen that these are 4-bit numbers. So, actually what are we doing? We are performing A3, A2, A1, A0, B3, B2, B1, B0. We want to add them, but the thing is, this thing we have already covered, and this can be simply done with the help of a 4-bit parallel binary adder. Okay. But that 4-bit parallel binary adder cannot decide whether this sum is valid or invalid. Okay. That means, we have to include some extra circuitry which will help me in deciding whether this expression is giving me a valid output or invalid output. Okay. So, we can then next thing, whenever we are adding two decimal numbers. So, the two decimal numbers, maximum decimal numbers can be 9 plus 9. Okay. So, this 9 plus 9 will be equivalent to 18, and also there can be a carry from the previous stage. Okay. That means, if I include one more as previous carry, if this is previous carry, okay, then 18 plus 1 becomes 19. That means, I should be in a position to convert the numbers from 0 to 19 into valid BCD range. Okay. So, this table is partially mentioned here. We can see that this is, if the sum is 0 to 9, we can see that both this is my uncorrected BCD sum, or we can say this is binary sum. Okay. This is my binary sum, and this is corrected BCD sum. But till 9 we can see that there is no correction required, there is no need of correction 0 to 9. Okay. So, this 0 to 9 we can see that these cases are exactly similar. From 0 to 9, binary or BCD both are exactly similar. Okay. So, we have prepared this table in this way, and these are being denoted Z1, Z2, Z4, Z8 are used for representing the binary sum, and K is the binary carry, and S8, S4, S2, S1 these are used for the BCD sum. This is my BCD sum. Okay. And this is my BCD carry. Okay. So, we have seen that till 9 there is no confusion, both binary and BCD are identical. Then we can proceed further. 10 to 19, then this 10 to 19 we can see that this is 10 Z8, Z4, Z2, Z1, 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay. Similarly, this is 11, this is the binary, again I am mentioning here, this is binary sum. Okay. 10 to 19 binary sum, and this 10 to 19 binary and it is the BCD sum. Now, you can see that none of these cases are identical, these are all different, all these cases are different, because 10 to 19 are my invalid BCD. Okay. Now, how to convert this invalid BCD into a valid BCD? So, it is a simple rule, we have to add 6. Why we are adding 6? Because 0 to 9 are valid ones. Okay. 0 to 9 are valid ones, and 10 to 15 are invalid ones. and these are 6 in numbers, 6 invalid BCD numbers. 6 invalid BCD numbers are there. So, these 6 invalid BCD numbers have to be jumped. So, after this I will reach 16, okay, and this 16 binary representation will be 1 0 0 0 0. Now, I can see that this 4-bit group and this 4-bit group, it is also less than 9 and this is also less than 9. Okay. So, these are the corrected versions. This is the process by which we can correct the binary sum by adding 6 to that invalid binary sum. So, we can see that this is 10 here 0 1 0 1 0, and when we add 6 to it we get 16 as 1 4 times 0. Similarly, this 11 is 0 1 0 1 1, and when we add 6 we get 17. Similarly, 12 we are getting 18. We can check any case, we can check that this is weight, we are clearly mentioning the weights 1 2 4 8 16. So, we can see any of these cases, like let us suppose we are considering 12. So, this 12 is 0 1 1 0 0 in binary, and after adding 6, 12 plus 6 is 18. So, 18 1 plus 2 plus 16, 16, sorry, we have taken the next level case, we are taking this case. So, this is 16 plus 2 18. So, that is why 12 plus 6 is equivalent to 18. Similarly, we can check these cases as well. 18 is written as this number in binary. So, 18 plus 8 is 26. So, 26 16 plus 8 24. So, 18 plus 6 is 24. So, it is the corrected binary sum, 18 plus 6 is 24. So, this 24 18 16 plus 8 is equivalent to 24. Okay. So, in this way we have prepared this table, and from this table we can see that in the previous slide when this C was equivalent to 0, there was no issue. That means, for C is equal to 0, no issues there. Okay. So, for C is equal to 0, there is no issue at all, but when this C starts appearing here as 1, issue starts arising. Okay. So, we have to find the expression for this invalidity condition when this C is 0, C is appearing as 1. So, we can check that for these first two cases, for 10 and 11, 10 and 11 we can see that Z8 is 1 and Z2 is 1. So, we can see that for the first cases 10 and 11 we can have Z8 and Z2, okay, Z8 and Z2. Similarly, for the next 4 cases we can see that these are the high inputs which are consistently high, which are not changing. Okay. So, we can see that these are Z8 and Z4. So, for 12, 13, 14 and 15. So, for 12 to 15 we can have expression equivalent to Z8 Z4. Okay. And for the last 4 cases 16, 17, 18, 19. So, for 16, 17, 18, 19 we can see that this thing is not changing at all, that means it is equivalent to K. So, for 16 to 19 I am having expression K. So, when we add all these 3 together I get the condition for invalidity. Okay. So, the condition for invalidity is Z8 Z2 plus Z8 Z4 plus K. So, this is equivalent to C. Okay. So, as we can see here, condition for invalid BCD sum C is equal to K plus Z8 Z4 plus Z8 Z2. So, this is the condition for invalidity. Okay. Now, how this circuit is performing the BCD addition and how it is performing the correction, that means addition of 6. It is very much simple. Let us suppose this is A3, A2, A1 and A0, and this is B3, B2, B1 and B0. Okay. And this is my 4-bit binary adder. It produces the binary sum as Z8, Z4, Z2 and Z1, and from that binary sum, this is my binary sum, which I am not sure that it is valid or not. Okay. So, to check whether this sum is valid or not, I am generating this expression from this binary sum. That means, I am generating the condition for invalidity, C is equal to k plus Z8 Z4 plus Z8 Z2. So, this you can see, this is Z8 Z4, this first product, okay. This is my first product and this is my second product Z8 Z2. So, this is Z8 and Z2 and this is my third factor k. So, this is here, this is my third factor k. Okay. So, all these three things are added together with the help of an OR gate to produce C, output carry C. Okay. Now, this C is deciding whether we want to add 6 or not. So, for this we are preparing another table like structure. So, if C is equal to 0, C is equal to 0, then I can say that sum is valid, and if C is equal to 1, I can say sum is invalid. Okay. And the condition for action to be taken. So, the action to be taken, if it is valid, then we have to add 0, that means I do not need to add anything, and if it is invalid, then I need to add 6. Okay. So, this 0 in binary can be written as 0 0 0 0 and 6 in binary can be written as 0 1 1 0. So, this is C is equal to 0 and this is C is equal to 1. From this we can see that these zeros are fixed, the first and last 0 are fixed. So, that is why these first and last zeros are fixed to this 0, or you can also connect it to the ground. Okay. So, that is why first and last position are 0 in any of the case, either we want to add 0 or 6, 0 is common for both of them, and in between terms these we can see that it is directly related to C. If C is equal to 0, between the middle two values are also 0, and if C is equal to 1, the middle two values are also 1. So, we can see that this C is entering here as the middle 2 bits. So, this becomes 0 C C 0. That means, if my condition for invalidity is satisfied, that means the sum is invalid, then it will add 0 1 1 0 automatically, and if this C is equal to 0, that means my sum is already valid, then I need not to add anything, then there will be 0 0 0 0. So, this is the case for invalid and this is case for valid. So, once I perform this correction, then I can confirm that the output of this last, or we can say second 4-bit parallel binary adder S8, S4, S2, S1 plus this C. So, these C plus C, S8, S4, S2, S1, this is my final corrected BCD sum. Okay. So, in this way we have prepared the circuit for if BCD adder or a decimal adder. Okay. So, with this we come to the end of this lecture. Thank you very much.